Welcome to Roguecast, the official podcast of Rogues Gallery. We'll talk comics for the week, as well as whatever news is on our pop cultural radar. I'm Randy.
I'm Nick. This is Dave.
And now, on with the show. Hello and welcome back to the Roguecast.
Yeah.
Our continuing conversation about Marvel Snap, the weather, and occasionally comic books.
I'm going to say something about the weather today.
Okay, yeah.
In a week, it will be autumn.
No.
Sort of.
I refuse.
I mean, I think it's still going to be in the 90s, right?
No. Like, upper level is like 85 and 86 after like a little bit of rain this
You
weekend.
mean I can start walking again?
Yes.
I suppose that's acceptable. However, more rain is bad because apparently we've got a leak in our store.
Oh,
Again.
yeah. That was an interesting experience here today. You know, we've dealt with roof leaks before.
Yeah.
This is one of those small business things. Very exciting. And
I don't know if you guys know, water is not good for cardboard and paper.
Yep.
It's really not.
We had like dealt with many issues in the past.
Yep.
But last time, as far as ceiling leaks and stuff, like we thought it was kind of dealt with. Years ago they did a big patch thing all over the rooftop across the whole complex, and it seems like they kind of got it up to speed. And so then we get like this massive downpour the other day, though. And Nick, you were rightly pointed out, you're like, it sounds like I'm hearing raindrops on the tiles right above my head.
Yep.
And like, sure enough,
Not exactly what you want to say or
not
hear.
what you want to hear.
Nope.
So we're messing with that. We're gonna see if we can get that fixed up. But yeah, it's exciting. What we're getting though, Randy, I believe, is will be lighter rain and probably not do that. And then it'll just be cool weather. It'll be nice.
You sure it's not going to rain for 5 minutes and then make it muggy as hell outside?
I mean, maybe. But then in the like in a day or two, it'll be actual cool.
All you weather
nice.
lovers.
And
You know what's great? 95 degrees and dry.
Okay. you know, maybe you should go to Arizona, Randy, if you're so into that.
Ooh, I like it. It gets down to the high is an 83
What? That's the high?
next Sunday.
Randy's gonna die.
I am.
It's going to be 83
If it drops below 79, I die.
83 and raining. I love
I'm like a lizard or a snake.
You're like if in speed,
Yes.
but it was temperature based.
Right. If speed were temperature based, which by the way, speed 3.
If
Call
the
me.
temperature drops below 80,
Did they not make a Speed 3?
They only did 2, right?
They did only 2? Okay.
Speed 2, cruise
There was
control
always
on a boat.
talk. Yeah, the second one was
Which
awful.
didn't have
Jason,
Keanu Reeves.
the
Jason
third one,
Patrick.
they did make a third one. It was on a Segway.
starring Kevin Hart or something.
Yes.
If this thing goes over 5 miles an hour,
We'll be really surprised.
we'll be really surprised.
There's the bomb immediately goes off.
They resurrect Dennis Hopper, but he's now just a head.
Yes, he's a head mounted on a Segway. But if the temperature gets above 79 degrees, his head explodes. So
Pop quiz.
and he actually now just does trivia.
Have you guys watched Speed recently? I watched it the other week.
Yeah, it holds up.
It does
It's
hold
really
up.
good.
It's been years since I've watched it, but I remember the last time I saw it, I generally liked it. I still think that, spoiler warning, killing off Jeff Daniels
Yeah,
is a little bit
it's harsh.
cheap for an
Yep.
otherwise a movie that kind of overturns kind of cheesy traditions a little.
You know what I would have
ways.
done? I would have had him pull up in another bus
Yeah.
and like drive with him. He's like, "I'm your buddy. I'm here. I'm going to drive with you."
Yeah. We're bus buddies.
Yeah, bus buddies.
I thought
Speed 2 bus buddies.
Speed 3 bus buddies.
Speed 3 bus buddies.
Speed 2 cruise control, we try to forget about.
who was the bad guy in that?
Oh,
He
God.
was somebody Euro
Was it
terrorist,
Jeremy
right?
Irons?
No, that's
No.
Die Hard 3.
That was Die Hard 3.
Okay.
That was an acceptable villain.
Although, it would have been great if they started crossing over Die Hard villains. They always get killed. It would have been
Yeah.
great if they'd cross over Die Hard villains
It's not
with Speed
Willem
villains.
Dafoe, is it?
Oh, I
could
think
be
it might have
it could be
been.
Willem Dafoe.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Willem
Listen, you
Dafoe,
can't be in-
John Geiger.
You can't be
John Geiger.
in nothing but winners. But he does pretty good.
So I've never seen Speed 2, Nick. I assume you have.
I did. Long ago.
So does the bus, does the boat have to take a certain amount of speed?
I don't think so. I think that there was just a bomb on a boat.
Okay, well that's something.
I know, it's not-
that doesn't follow through. It's got to be speed.
But maybe it does. I just don't remember it.
I just love the idea that there's this boat in the middle of the ocean. Like we can't slow down. I'm like, who cares?
That's right.
We're in the middle of the ocean.
That's right. If you have to jump out, you're okay.
You're
You'll land
fine.
in the water.
Yeah.
If you have to turn it in some direction to keep going, you can. You can go literally every direction.
Willem Dafoe is just like thoroughly just disgruntled the whole time. He's like, they just got off the boat.
Just jump.
Yeah, they just jumped off the boat, man.
So apparently Keanu Reeves was offered $12 million to reprise his role as Jack Traven, but turned it down because he thought the script was
Well,
sucked.
yeah, good call, Keanu. Yeah.
And when a dumb surfer guy.
Yeah, that guy. Nothing ever happened to him again. Anyway.
All right. Let's talk about some story stuff.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some games.
Yeah, then we got, it's a big week for games.
I was going to say, there's a lot of
bunch
games.
stuff. So, there's a game called Ink.
Yep.
This is one of the new ones from Asmodee. There's sort of a, it's a pattern matching, kind of like Azul, one of those things. You're basically an artist trying to create paintings.
Okay.
And you're putting down different tiles that color match on different sides, and you get little ink cartridges back when you do it.
Okay.
It's a really fun. I've played it on BGA, and I've not played it in person, but it's a really fun little game. If you like Azul or Sagrada or some of those other like pattern matching games,
it's a spiritual
So it's
successor.
like laying tiles, and then you have little ink bottles.
yeah, little ink bottles.
That you they look really well.
You're trying to make
crafted and
patterns.
nice,
Yeah,
and
it's
you're
a
trying to make
really
patterns.
pretty game.
Yeah, it's very pretty. And for the moment, we do have some bonus goodies that go with
You're
it.
saying that we would guarantee that if somebody plays this, they will become more tranquil and zen.
They will feel inky.
A lot of people are looking for that.
Yeah, whether that's good or bad, you will feel inky.
You had a game that'll make me feel drenched and inky.
We got the latest Ticket to Ride Northern Lights, which is Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and Finland. Man, these things...
The dream we all dream of. This is a good place
Someone
to
told
go.
me that this was a re-release of
It
like an
sounds
older set.
familiar.
I think it is too.
Okay, yeah, it's just like an updated version of something.
Now,
Right.
they did have a Ticket to Ride, like, it was like the Christmas one.
Yeah,
I think this may be a revision of that with a new name. We got a party game called Commit to the Bit. So, random cards set the scene, and even more random cards disrupt it. You're supposed to stay in character in this game of improvisation and imagination.
Oh,
so,
that sounds fun.
They keep getting cards to add elements. So, kind of not unlike improv or that kind of thing.
and
or
this
some
is
of
the
the
one
stuff.
where there's two different versions, right? There's a PG
there's
and
a
then
naughty version
and
and a non-naughty version. We got Spot It Bluey.
Yep.
Spotted is a quick play game. Bluey is the most popular blue dog in the world.
Yes.
I guess is the only other Blue's Clues. I guess would be the only competitor in that.
Blue's Clues is dead to me.
Yeah, Blue's Clues is nothing.
Ever since Bluey showed up.
blew his brains out.
I think they'd probably be friends. Actually.
Yeah, they would be friends.
Nope, they got to fight. They got to fight in the octagon.
Maybe Bluey should take over and do Bluey's Clues.
Star Trek Star Realms gets its first expansion, Borg Invasion, which introduces new multiplayer game modes and has a new faction.
You and I were talking the other week, or last week when it came out, and we were like, I thought that was just going to be its own thing. Like they were,
Right. It is essentially the original thing was just a reskin of Star Realms with Star Trek ships for the art.
Correct.
And Star Trek factions for the factions, and was a cool game. I've played it. But this is a pretty cool follow through because like it allows you to, I think you can do a thing where it's like everybody against the Borg. I think play more like some of the mission based side things,
like the ones where you play against the dragons or the liches and
in the fantasy
realms,
ones. Yeah. And I'm like, that sounds cool. Like, I like the idea of them growing this some. Star Trek is a pretty good fit for the format. So very happy to hear that.
A couple new games from the Cypher RPG system. Neon Rain, which is their cyberpunk system. These things always have gorgeous artwork. I've not played Cypher, but I know some people really like it. But it's the cyberpunk source book for Cypher.
Right.
And then something called Gunslinger Knights, which is a post-apocalyptic Arthurian story. You are knights Arthur, Lancelot, Gawain.
Interesting.
You don your armor, mount your crafted steed, and ride to the approaching storm.
So I was trying to guess the movie I was trying to recall, Randy, that I believe was maybe directed by Tom Savini, the special effects guy from Dawn of the Dead and stuff like that. Or maybe starring him, I can't remember, was called Knight Riders from 1981, like a year or two before I think Knight Rider came out. But it was a like post-apocalyptic, I think, thing with like motorcycle jousting and stuff.
Sure.
So I just hope that they fully credit it.
I mean, it's just a good idea
in their interior page. My favorite pseudo-medieval apocalypse is. What's the movie that came out years back? The real cheesy but fun movie.
Oh, Doomsday.
Doomsday, yes. Of course, where there's like zombies and in like a plague and medieval times,
Yes.
and there's road warrior stuff in
Yes.
it. Like they combined every possible genre, and it's pretty entertaining. So I recommend Doomsday.
Yep.
And if this game touches a little bit on that, and touches a little maybe on crazy Tom Savini's thing,
Yep.
I think that sounds like fun.
We got a game called Temple Code, where you have to deduce a combination of statuettes unlocking the hidden vault. You're battling other rival archaeologists.
Nice, full Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider type
and I think it's a
experience.
fairly cheap game. I think it's a smaller one.
Okay.
Obojima Tales from the Tall Grass. This one's actually been out for a while. We just finally got it.
Okay.
It is. This is the Miyazaki-esque 5e book. Very pretty
Cool.
looking.
I remember that was coming up. I didn't realize that it hit.
It
Very
was
cool.
it was a hit at Free RPG Day this year and last. Like I say, it's been out for a little while. We just didn't know where to find it. We found it.
How many hit dice does Porco Rosso have?
He has 17 and a half hit dice.
And what is the breath attack of Totoro?
Totoro has a cone attack that makes everyone whimsical for 2d12 turns.
But then he's got a cat bus power that just summons a cat bus and runs.
Yeah, he can go. Expeditious Retreat. That spell lets you run away really fast. The cat bus is like that.
They just reskinned it.
Yeah, they just reskinned it.
Really just kind of cheap.
Yeah, they reskinned the cat bus.
Is it, out of curiosity, is this a shrink-wrapped one? Because I
It
want to
is.
flip through it and look at the art.
Maybe we
I
could
bet
do
it's
that.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break into it when y'all aren't looking.
All right. A new game called Age of Galaxy. This was a hit at I think Gen Con. But it is what do they call it? This 4X games, Explore, Exterminate, whatever it is.
Yep. Just like Civ games. A lot of them are kind of like that. Yeah.
So you are in control of an interstellar alliance consisting of 3 factions with unique powers. And you are going to colonize, explore systems, research technologies, build cruisers, blah blah blah. And your factions have to work together to satisfy the ideology of your alliance.
Okay, that sounds cool.
It sounds very elaborate and cool. Like I said, reviews have been really good on this one. New DC deck building game. We got the Death Metal expansion, which lets you turn any expansion, but especially the Dark Knight's Metal one, into the Crisis version where it's cooperative.
Yep, that's good.
I actually played this with one of my friends who is a diehard DC deck builder.
Yep.
And it was super hard.
Oh. This is their co-op mode is basically tough.
Very challenging. Yeah. Teen Titans Go, which is a reprint, but this is a 2-player game using all the Teen Titans Go art and themes.
That's super fun. Is Teen Titans Go like the goofy one?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
And then Superman vs. Lex Luthor, another one of their rivals, one was another 2-player one.
Yeah, those 2-player ones are really cleverly done. I think I've mentioned this before, but if it's like the format that I've played, then each version, essentially you have 3 versions of your character, and if you get defeated once, your somewhat tougher version of the character comes out.
Yep.
And so that you've got a shot to make a cool comeback, and that kind of in Mario Kart when you're behind and you get a little boost, it's kind of that's the boost you get. Like Luthor comes back a little bit tougher. That's your Mario Kart boost, right? Makes sense.
Correct. We got the new Sushi Go Spin Some for Dim Sum. This is
that should win the title of the year.
It's a little Lazy Susan with the cards on it, and you're basically trying to draft. It's Sushi Go. You're trying to draft sets of them, but there's also a little squishy bow in the middle that you can get that's first player token.
Nice.
And you get it with actual chopsticks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the idea of the
idea.
Lazy Susan in the mix.
And then we got this back in Fate of the Fellowship. This is the pandemic-themed Lord of the Rings. I believe we talked about it last week. We're already sold out. We got 2 cases back in. We have a couple left.
Yeah.
Yep.
These are going super fast.
Going fast.
Yep.
And I believe this Friday we will see Star Wars Battle for Hoth.
Yep.
Yes.
Which we're all excited about.
Yes.
Which is, if we haven't talked about it, or if you haven't heard, is basically not a reskinning of Memoir 44, but it's
somewhat that.
utilizing
The creator of that system, his name is Richard Borg, and he did. It started as Command and Colors, which was Roman troops fighting, and they did a Civil War version. They did a fantasy version. They did a Game of Thrones version, even over the years.
That's
right. And so it is a very popular system where you kind of issue commands to your troops through cards that you've got, the little hidden cards, and it allows you to play a war game and have a fun war game experience, but in an hour to an hour and a half. You do not have super long setup times, and you do not have super, waste your whole weekend games. And yet you feel like you've had the experience.
Yeah, it's a great...
It's very fun.
I played Memoir 44 a ton.
Yeah,
I loved that.
Great game.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Is Richard Borg actually a Borg.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to talk about it, though.
He's like the Hugh Borg.
Oh,
though.
okay,
he
good,
does
good.
fun things
Yeah.
like game design instead of bad things like assimilate entire cultures.
Oh, good. Okay, good. He's one of the good cyborgs.
He's one of the good ones,
Okay.
as far as we know.
And then we got a couple small games. One is called Rival Cities. It's a 2-player game. It sets the cities of Hamburg and Altona in a competitive race to dominate the other in 16th century Germany. Remember, Dave, we've said this many a time, that sometimes the theme of a game, you're like, they made a game out of that?
Yeah.
But I bet this is a really fun game.
I'm sure it is. I feel like one of my earliest experiences with Euro games, like a lot of people, was like Settlers of Catan, aka Catan,
Yep.
as it is now known. And I'm like, so I trade like wheat and
Yep.
bricks, and it's fun somehow. But yes,
It is.
the answer, of course, is the actual gameplay is incredibly engaging. They make a point to make it fun on every turn, so that unlike the dumbass American games like Monopoly and stuff like that,
Yep.
where you can kind of like tune out when your opponents are playing like that. These games, like they have this good design, and yeah, sometimes you gotta just roll with it, even if you don't get the coolest concept.
Yep. This one, on the other hand, has a wild concept. See if you can pick out where the weirdness happens. This is a game called Roaring Twenties.
Okay.
Roaring Twenties is a game for 3 to 5 players. They're preparing for the most lavish of all dinner parties and are competing to attract only the trendiest dino guests to the bash.
What is the name of this one again?
Roaring Twenties.
Yeah.
Oh,
roaring.
It's,
Get
it's
roaring.
a wonderful play
It's
on
a
words.
bidding
Love
game.
it.
Each dino has different preferences. Will not accept the invite unless bribed by the right snacks or splendid gems.
So,
You want to make the best dinosaur dinner party.
finally, a Great Gatsby-esque game with dinosaurs.
So this is the trick of games. We're like, well, I have this 2-player game that's about the cities in the 16th century Germany, Hamburg and Altona, and you have to use lawsuits, ships, and alliances to win. Or I have this game about competitive dinosaur dinner parties.
Yeah. Listen, there's a lot of options here. We contain multitudes.
Yes,
at
and then
Rogues
the last
Gallery.
one, Corvids. You are birds who have an interest in small objects for whatever bird-related reasons. You flip and move cards using your fingers or the provided beak tweezers to find what you want and cover the cards desired by your opponents. Peck, pick, and steal your way to victory.
I thought this one. I was
So this
putting
is
it
like
into
a little
the
sort of
system.
dexterity-ish game.
A little bit, but it is also you're trying to cover cards that your opponent's trying to get.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fine. What was
When I was putting this in the system, it looked and sounded really, really cool.
These all look really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very inventive.
Yep. All right, that's games.
Yes,
Let's talk about comics for the week. It's a big week.
It is.
and
It
a
is-
good and a good week.
It is such a big week that, in fact, a lot of the trades will be on the table if you come in tomorrow.
Yes, we got like 8,000 of
The
them.
wall exploded.
Yep. So we're just we'll put them separate, from the
Including one of the largest comics there is.
wall. Oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
we'll get to it. Thor #1, aka the Mortal Thor #1,
Yep.
is Al Ewing. They do a new #1 for his second. He calls it the second act of his 3-act Thor run.
Right. So he has been doing this for. He was at for Thor for what? A couple of years prior to
So-
this.
So he's
Yes.
got 3 acts.
Well, this is the
What-
second act.
What's gonna be the name of the next one?
Immortal Thor again.
Part D.
So, the Immortal Thor ironically died.
Right.
Right.
And now he's back as a Swedish-speaking construction worker named Sigurd Jarlsson, who does not remember that he's Thor,
Right.
and
Right.
seems to have no powers.
And
He's a
Right.
big guy, but
Right.
he
And
doesn't really know who he
There's
is.
also when he was originally had this identity.
Yeah.
This name has come up of Sigurd Jarlsson has come up before, back in the 1980s when Walt Simonson had his famous run and created
Yep.
Beta Ray Bill and all
Yep.
that stuff.
wasn't it a an ID that Nick Fury gave him?
Yeah, that
I
he was
think that's
basically
right, yeah.
he wanted to live as a mortal, and but not to be like close to them. And basically they kind of decided to pull a Clark Kent.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, so take your long hair and pull it into a ponytail, and you're gonna wear this T-shirt, and you're gonna be and blue jeans, and you're gonna be like kind of a normal guy, and you're gonna go hang out with this family, and he did that, and like it actually for the most part worked out. I think it was for a time he kind of lived a bit of a normal mortal life. Now this is a different take on it. This is him like using that name, but with his memory is lost.
Yeah, he literally doesn't seem to have powers. He's just a big dude.
Yeah.
He remembers that he used to work with a hammer,
Yes.
He believes he has been in many fights.
There's a weird-looking street kid who is clearly Loki hanging outside his apartment.
It's true.
Yes.
He gets involved in some workers' rights righteousness.
Who's the cute girl? Is that his neighbor?
I believe that is his neighbor.
Yep.
This was a really interesting Thor book. I really liked this first issue.
Yeah, I hadn't been keeping up with.
Me neither. I lost track of it.
I really liked it at the beginning where it was a little crazy, and then it got crazier, and I kind of was like, "Oh, okay."
I liked Loki's appearance. I'm not quite sure why Loki has the red hair here. Is that a thing from?
That probably is a thing.
You know, Thor was supposed to be redheaded. Maybe it's him messing.
Maybe
with
all
him.
his Guardians.
But
are
he's
redheaded.
basically like a street kid.
Yes, he's like a little snarky little street kid, but he's speaking in these kind of riddles and hints and things, and there is violence in this.
Yes, a little bit more so than you'd expect.
Yeah, kind of a little bit less superhero and a little more hardcore. I don't really want to say kind of how it comes about,
right?
But I think you're going to be reading and be like, whoa, yeah, I think this is actually going to go over pretty well.
I do too. We've seen multiple different versions of Thor at this point, and this feels like a fresh version.
Yeah.
Like utilizing stuff we know from the past.
You know what's interesting is the hammer he's got, which is just like kind of like a worker's hammer kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like when you see like the original hammer, like that he's like in old like etchings and art and stuff from like when he was actually like worshipped. It wasn't that much bigger than that because, practically speaking, it wasn't like a warhammer. It was like it was warhammer, but not like a two-handed warhammer.
Right.
Yeah.
So this actually kind of, in some ways, looks a little closer to how the art sometimes looks of him, but he does use it.
Does?
So yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I think we were all intrigued by this first issue and recommend people trying it out.
That's good.
Yep. Doomed 2099 is a one-shot. This is Doom. Did Doom 2099 is he in the future?
I believe he is. What's that?
Is he in the future? Or just come back to our modern times?
I thought he was coming back to our modern times, but I know that he's like pursued by like a team that includes like some other time traveling type people.
Oh,
like,
I see. He's
looks like he's like going up against.
He's trying to battle Doom, the Emperor Doom.
Yeah.
Right.
And his team includes Bishop, Maestro, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Phoenix, Deathlock, and Old Man Logan.
So they are on Doom 2099's side, not opposing him?
Apparently
interesting.
Not.
So he brought those guys back to try and take down Emperor Doom.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I will say this. I actually think the design work of Doom 2099 is pretty cool. I've always liked it. It's spiky. And
does anybody remember who did the original design work?
Patrick something.
Zurcher.
Was it Zurcher?
I don't know.
It might have been, actually. Hang on, I'll look it up.
I don't think it was Zurcher.
It was somebody whose name I knew. It was a Pat Broderick.
Oh, yeah,
John Francis Moore and Pat Broderick.
Yeah, weirdly, my association with Pat Broderick was he did late... actually, I know him more like from doing late-era Micronauts comics.
He was on Micronauts.
Yep.
He also did Firestorm, although I don't think he designed Firestorm.
Right, he's a good artist. He kind of did that sort of detailed, sort of John Byrne type art. But anyway.
I just read a little scene from this featuring Cosmic Ghost Rider, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. What happens?
Doomed. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you like Doom 2099 or
also,
you like Doom, it's something worth
I'll
reading.
say the art is really nice.
Yeah, the art is really nice in that.
I don't know who DeLeo Diaz and Frank Alpizar are, but they did a very good job.
The Imperial War one-shots start this week.
Yep. Yeah, spinning off of Marvel's just Imperial, their kind of cosmic event. Not a big event, but like a mini event.
Yep. This is the first one is She-Hulk, trying to ride herd on Hulk's planet for 5 days while he's off dealing with the assassination of his son.
Oh yeah, she was left in charge.
She's like, I'm only gonna be there for 5 days, and she is like a lawyer and all about the law, and she's having to deal with a planet where everyone settles their fights with gladiatorial combats.
And also, there's a murder mystery.
With the 5 wives of some dude.
Of Scar.
Oh, is it Scar's 5 wives?
Yeah, it was basically the... Yep.
Anyway, it was just surprisingly fun. It feels... I wasn't sure if they're going to make her like a bruiser.
Yeah.
And she does get in some fights here, but this is definitely a She-Hulk book.
Yep.
That's fun.
No fourth wall breaking, though. I don't think she talks
about it. No, it does not.
And then we've got the Black Panther, which I'm still wired out by the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda. I don't fully understand how that links to anything, but This is Black Panther. The Wakanda has been framed for the murder of Scar, so the Hulks are chasing him, and he's trying to find his way out of it. This was a fun one too. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, it's basically T'Challa trying to on the run essentially.
Yeah, and
He's the T'Challa as the fugitive.
Yeah, but also he is like very
timely-
much. He is definitely the one who's the smartest, most well equipped, and all that.
For sure.
So in this analogy, the Tommy Lee Jones character is Hulk. That's
Yes.
Yeah.
that's scary.
Hulk not care.
Hulk not care.
I wonder if that's how it was pitched, because he is like the smartest guy in the room. Black
Yep.
Panther is,
Yep.
and that's definitely who Harrison Ford played in The Fugitive. So yeah,
Yep.
kind of fits.
Immortal Legend Batman. This is by the creative team of Radiant Black.
This is
And
a
it is-
weird and interesting book. I liked it.
It is a sci-fi take, basically Batman as like Sentai character essentially.
Yeah, there's a what is it?
But he's-
Tokatsu, I think, is what the
Yes.
genre is called, of like sort of that encompasses a lot of the practical special effects things. I think from everything from like Kamen Rider to Power Rangers, and it's the writer is that Power Rangers and what's the big black.
Radiant Black.
Radiant Black is his other book.
Yep. So this is it's sort of it's another murder mystery. It takes place on like an alien moon.
It almost, the vibe early on was almost like Firefly.
Yeah,
Because there's
yeah.
like people kind of looked a little bit like Western, kind of futuristic Western clothes and stuff. But it's out on the frontier, and yeah, it's a murder mystery, and there's like involved is like Sheriff Wayne is
Yeah.
out there, and like Mayor Dent.
They're using a lot of Batman characters here
But-
but in a different setting.
But at a certain point, it does start becoming more of what you would think of as that Super Sentai kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's characters show up and like their names explode across the page, and they're like kind of like both like there's some like scary anime type monster stuff.
Yep.
There's the reveal about like the sort of trio of Batman heroes is very cool and Power Rangey. But it is like it's kind of like a weird fusion, I would say, of like a little bit of Firefly kind of sci-fi on the Borderlands, but with an definitely a dose of Power Rangers in there.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a backup story in here. I'm flipping through it. It says Dan Mora on artwork.
Yes, and it explains where the powers of the Immortal Legend Batman come from, and brings in their Robin and their Nightwing, and it's a fun story. I really liked it.
I think I have to imagine Dan Mora really likes Power Rangers
Dan
because he
Mora-
worked on it.
I have to imagine Dan Moore's on a lot of cocaine. How is he doing? He has 3 books out this week, right?
No other artist I know can do 3 books.
Oh, you're right. He does this,
He's on 3 books
Superman,
this week.
and Justice League
Justice League.
Unlimited.
I mean, we're used to that with writers.
Yeah.
We don't have
and-
artists have 3 books.
I remember
a
when
week.
Bendis was
Quality
doing
is
like 6.
Pretty strong,
And
on
it's all
those.
great. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Anyway, yeah.
But when Bendis was doing 6, it was 6 ass books.
Yes. It's true.
And I mean
one
books.
good book.
I mean books about ass stuff.
Yeah. TMNT Shredder. This is the new Shredder solo series. Dan Waters has been doing a lot of the Batman crimey stuff.
Well, he also did the JoJo Destro.
JoJo Destro, that's right.
That's interesting because it's a little tough to write like a full villain book.
Yeah.
Nick, you read this?
I read this. I really enjoyed it.
I
It's
thought
bas-
this was really
It
good.
basically,
Did Shredder shred?
He shreds. He kills a whole building full of ninjas.
yeah,
Huh?
Basically, someone has taken over the Foot Clan.
yeah.
Okay.
And Shredder is thought to be dead. He's been dead many times. They mentioned that. And he basically just goes in. The feds are watching the building, and they watch what looks like this old guy go in there, and then he just wrecks the place.
Wasn't there a miniseries?
No, wait. Was that him in disguise, or he's not an old guy?
He is an old
He is an
man.
old guy.
Oh, is he?
Wasn't there a recent miniseries, Shredder in Hell,
Yes.
that they're running with that because he's come back from something?
Yeah, I know that they haven't undone any of the recent
Yeah.
plot stuff.
But it's kind of awesome seeing this man just like rip apart basically fake ninjas.
yeah. Well, Shredder is like. He is the main antagonist of all things Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
He has to be a badass.
Yep.
But they're giving his costume a little bit of an update.
Yep.
It's really good. If you're liking the Turtles book, I think this is one you're going to want to check out.
Yeah, it was fun. Star Trek Strange New Worlds gets a new series called The Seeds of Salvation. It is written by Robbie Thompson of Silk, and he has been a writer on Strange New Worlds season 4, I guess. Yeah, so he's not in the current season; he's in the next season. But he's a TV writer as well. He wrote for Supernatural, and this is him doing a book that he is actually working on in the writers' room. And it is, he said, a Lovecraftian horror story.
Okay.
So
That's Star Trek and some horror stuff. That sounds fun.
Also in the horror vein, we have The Invisible Man, Universal Monsters. This is James Tinian writing.
Yeah, our boy Tinian.
The singular named Danny on art.
He can call himself whatever he wants. This is just
it might be
luscious
super
artwork.
good. Danny did some work on the his detective run. No, his Batman run.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember that. And I'm a fan of The Invisible Man. At least I haven't read the original book, but I've seen the original movie by James Whale, and it's one of my favorite of the Universal Monsters
How does it
movies.
compare to the Kevin Bacon Hollow Man, Invisible Man version?
Listen, we're only going to talk about the recent Invisible Man by that guy.
Yeah.
The Blumhouse guy.
Lee Winnell, yes.
Lee Winnell, yeah. Which was quite good.
But what about Chevy Chase's Memoirs of Invisible Man, directed by John Carpenter?
Just bringing down the room.
I have a fondness for that movie.
I mean, I've heard. The thing is, it was in Chevy Chase's "I Want to Be a Serious Actor" time period. And that's no good for anybody.
No.
Although I am curious because it's like one of the few John Carpenter movies I've only ever seen like bits and pieces of, and I kind of want to see it because it was still in his heyday.
That's such an iconic.
Yeah. So this is the there's like
Is this
not a ton of invisibling in this first issue, and yet there is.
But is this like an adaptation of like the original?
I think
this is
they're
a
all
reinterpretation.
adaptations / reinterpretations of the movies.
But the original
specifically.
Universal.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Movies.
And so yes, this I can say based on just even my memories, I recognize the name of his so this is a guy, he's like a chemist. He's working on they're officially doing something with preservatives, food preservatives.
Oh, okay.
And he finds this kind of rare strain of something in like a rat that it's like some this is probably this does feel like sort of the pulp era. It's some piece of a strange substance derived from a rare flower in India with a peculiar side effect of draining the pigment from its subject's skin.
Yeah.
So initially it just kind of turns things sort of albino, but like with increased doses and refinements of it, you start to, what we would say now is like bending the light around it. But yes, he has a rat that turns invisible, and he starts, at one point, this minor spoiler, the rat gets loose and like kills some of the other rats there, and it's like invisible mode. And he's watching, and you can tell he's messed up because you're in his head the whole time in this issue. And he's like, I could tell he was smarter than the rest, and he was running the maze and all this stuff better than the others. And then he's like, they deserved it.
He's like, it must be hard for him being surrounded by all these stupid rats.
Yes,
I understand why he'd murder them all. Yeah.
Smash cut to him at like a dinner party with the woman he's dating and his boss and like his partner and who I definitely remember all of these people from the movie. And he's thinking about them the same way that rat thought about the other rats. And it is disturbing and fascinating. He is creepy in this. There's those mental flights of fancy he has, Randy, where he just like imagines himself just stabbing somebody in the neck and stuff.
They definitely it's got a little American Psycho in there.
Absolutely. I thought it was a great first issue.
Agreed. I also really liked it.
And an easy win on the art too. So
Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees gets its second issue. This is the Rite of Spring, the sequel. This is the flip side to the last one. Last one we saw was the brother of the other serial killer trying to track down after, I don't know, like 7 years, 8 years, something like that.
Well, it was the brother of the victim.
No, I thought it was the brother of the other serial killer that she killed. Was it not?
No, I thought it was the dude that she killed that was in the city.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So the person in the first issue of this sequel series, as far as I can tell, is completely innocent. She's just a person whose life was destroyed when her brother went missing.
Yeah.
Now, it is just possible he was the serial killer, but I don't think so.
Okay. But anyway, this issue is the flip side. We see what the serial killer bear has been up to the last few years.
Samantha something. I can't quite remember her.
She owns the hardware store.
Yep. And it's interesting because the town is set in the early 90s.
Yeah.
And like you see like the postman delivering those like AOL, the America Online kind of like CDs to try out, and she sees Samantha, our serial killing bear, who's painted like a Richard Scarry character, that there's like pages looking into like her murders, and stuff like that. And I can't remember. Is this? She feels like almost like a sense of pride over it, like oh, this is exciting, but it's also dangerous.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the town is kind of growing. There's this sudden burst of growth, but it's kind of like more like Walmarts are coming in and closing up small businesses. So it's really plugged into the era it's in. It's not just 90s as superficial stuff. It is like looking at like how the 90s was affecting people. It's almost always more smartly written than I expect it to be.
It also has a variant cover that homages the movie cover for Natural Born Killers.
Yep. It's another good movie homage cover. Continues to be a really excellent comic.
I did miss a couple of number ones. There's a Stitch, as in Lilo and Stitch number one.
Right. Yep.
And then there is a oversized, what I thought was a graphic novel. It's actually just a one-shot called The Man Who Dreamt the Impossible. It's like a Kirby bio.
Yeah.
Which was really good. Other second issues this week, though. There's also Predator, Black, White, and Blood. This has the second part of the Joe Kelly story, a story by Steve Fox, and a story by Curtis Baxter, a writer I don't know.
Okay.
The second one has Predator versus the Abominable Snowman.
Oh, that's weird, but kind of fun.
It's kind of weird. And then the third one is looks like sort of a ninja kind of thing against predators.
So if you're looking for more predation in your comics,
yep.
but also a showcase of artists, which is what the black, red, and white and stuff.
It is a Jed McKay Tuesday. We got Avengers and X-Men, both by McKay.
Yep.
We also have issue 20 of Ultimate Spider-Man, which is a big issue. Basically, the Osborns and the Parkers sit down again, just like they did, 8 issues ago, and hash out now that Mary Jane knows all the truths about everything.
Right.
Emma Frost, White Queen number 3. I'm enjoying this little look back at Emma Frost making her way into the council for the first time.
I'll check this out. I was a little sour on the previous issue, but there was still good stuff in it.
I'm digging it. Issue 3 of The Runaways, which continues to be a lot of fun. Rainbow Rowell really gets these characters.
Yep.
Bring on the Bad Guys finishes up with a Dormammu one-shot and then Mephisto one-shot.
Yep, double one-shot week.
Superman is, number 29, is part 2 of the Legion of Darkseid. Superman is time traveling with Superboy Prime, who is breaking fourth walls everywhere.
Yep. And weirdly, I quite like this issue.
Very entertaining.
It's a lot of fun. They run into the scraps of the Legion. They're battling the evil Legion.
Yeah.
And they're looking for Booster Gold.
There's a lot of interesting scenes in here, and also, by the way, some great art. It was just cool to see Dan Mora drawing Starboy. You know, that was like a Legionnaire who you don't get to see too often.
I liked his
This is a spectacular drawing of Superman, by the way, just right in the middle of the issue. This one.
I also really liked his sort of survivalist-looking Cosmic Boy.
Yep.
Thought that was a good design too.
And there's Chameleon Boy has a cool shape-changey looking stuff. I would enjoy a Legion that he drew.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who the right writer for that, but
me neither. But I'm interested. Yeah.
Yeah. This continues to be good, and I believe continues in Justice League
Justice League
Unlimited.
number 10 is Doomsday, a.k.a. the Time Trapper.
Yes.
Which is weird.
That is a weird reveal, which I guess they're kind of running with, but...
They made it out, they did that a couple of, a year ago?
Something like that. It's from Josh Williamson's run, but some interesting stuff going on with it.
But basically this opens with him being hunted by the Dark Legion. Mon-El, punches his way through him. And he goes to the Justice League for help, and they are trying to rescue him or save him, but because of his weird time powers, they can't get close to him. So they use a clever method to sort of do surgery on him.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this issue. There's other stuff going on there too. I mean, it's there's stuff going on around in the Justice League. They're still dealing with Airwalker and his betrayal, Airwave.
Airwave, yeah.
His betrayal.
Yep.
And it's fun. I'm enjoying it. Robin and Batman Jason Todd wraps up. This is a really good story about Jason Todd in his early days, whether or not he was too violent to be Robin.
Yep.
If both Batman and Alfred, maybe failed him.
Yep.
I really liked this. I thought they did an interesting backstory on it, knowing where he goes and becomes Red Hood.
Yeah, continues to have that great painted art from Dustin Nguyen.
The art is great, yeah.
He and Jeff Lemire seem proving to be continue to be a good duo, and we're hoping to see at the very least that Tim Drake will get one of these, and maybe Damian afterwards would be cool.
I see issue 3 of Jeff the Landshark came out this week.
Yes, this This has an amazing cover of Wolverine hurling him in a fastball special, which does occur in the comic as a Jeff Ball special. This has some just truly amazing and delightful artwork. Yeah. Jeff gets his own adamantium claws and psychic teeth, like Psylocke's blade, the focus totality thing. He cavorts with Rogue and Gambit.
I was going to say, he gets a smooch from Rogue.
Right, Rogue takes just a little quick glimpse of him so that she can speak Jeff language. And it is like the cutest comic ever. These sort of anime-influenced designs on him remind me of all the great cat comics. But like you could find endless great pictures in here, just standalones.
But this artist does a great job with all the regular Marvel characters.
Yeah, totally. Luna Snow is in there. That
Psylocke,
I think
Wolverine.
especially people from Marvel Rivals will appreciate. But yeah,
it's a fun issue.
It's a very fun issue.
Absolute Wonder Woman number 11. We're all still really enjoying this, I believe. We all think that's the best Absolute book.
I would say it's, for me, easily.
Yeah, for me, easily as well.
Yep. And I really like this issue. I'm a little lost in a few plot things going on that I'll need maybe the trade paperback to get through. But I've actually still had a great time with the issue, and I thought this was some of the best art on the whole series. It's really
fantastic.
That one splash page showing the labyrinth and its denizens was just amazing. The color is crazy.
I did read the hardcover of this recently, the first 7 issues, and it holds up beautifully.
That's awesome.
So maybe really enjoy the single issues, diving back into those. Absolute Martian Manhunter number 6, which is the halfway point of that series.
Yep.
The Image book, We're Taking Everyone Down With Us, which is like crazy super spy, evil supervillains stuff. This is a weird book, but I like it. It's another very dense book. Nicholas at Void Rivals is this week.
Yep. That was the only other thing I had.
Anything else?
I was just going to mention that we got the reprint in of Fantastic Four First Steps.
Oh, right.
Which that was the one with the movie. That was the movie tie-in, and it's like the origin of the team as it would be in a comic that was published in their world.
Right.
And so that there's like even like little pages like, hey, let's talk to the heartthrob Johnny Storm, and here's a Q&A with him.
Yep.
And here's the fan club page and stuff like that. So it's really well done. It does, in fact, kind of cover some of the stuff that was sort of, waved through quickly, I think smartly in the movie. But if you want to see that, there's an early... It shows the adventure with the Mole Man as a big part of it, which came up in the movie, of course, but it's not a big thing.
Right.
So, really good stuff.
Like I say, bunch of trades this week. I won't get to everything, but a few... Batman 66 Compendium, all the Batman 66 stuff based on the TV show gets a big trade paperback. Some reprints of the Batman Huntress miniseries that was Greg Rucka and Rick Burchett.
Right,
it's a really good miniseries.
He did the dive into kind of her mafia background on it.
Batman Red Hood, The Lost Days. He's sort of how Jason Todd became the Red Hood.
Yeah, like how he trained after he revived to become even deadlier than ever.
Written by Judd Winnick. I forget who the artist is, but somebody really
Pablo
good.
Raimondo?
Pablo Raimondo. Really good.
Yeah, it's exceptional art. I'm not the biggest Red Hood guy. He's a little Punisher for me.
Yeah.
But like this is some of my favorite stuff I've read with him. I think it's really good.
Batman Year 100, the Paul Pope Dark Future cyberpunk thing.
Yeah.
Stuff.
And the Wednesday comics reprint. Nick alluded to that earlier.
Yeah,
it is the biggest comic we have.
Right.
And it's gorgeous artwork.
I was going to say, it's chock full of just amazing artists.
When it came out, if you people who don't remember, Wednesday Comics itself was like a reference to the Sunday Comic newspaper like comic page, where in general the artists would really get to cut loose and do their stuff in color, and was known for being really really beautiful art. So DC did these, originally released them as like broadsheet kind of newspapers, right? So you would open it up, you would read here's a story with the Metal Men, here's a story with Green Lantern, here's a story with Batman.
Yep.
And, they got some very top talent artists on it. And then when they finally collected it, they put it out in this giant, ridiculous sized thing that's as tall as, like, what would be an unfolded newspaper. So it's one of those things, it's a really cool thing to have in your collection.
For sure.
It's gonna look cool. You're going to want to put it on an easel or something awesome.
And it's got some fun, like, third-tier characters. The Metal Men,
Yeah.
the...
I feel like Plastic Man or something.
Plastic Man. What's the future guy? I'm blanking on his name.
Adam Strange?
No, the one that's like Prince Valiant style.
Oh, that was Commandy.
Commandy. There's a Commandy thing that looks like Prince Valiant.
Yeah, this was a great showpiece for artists.
Yeah.
Joe Kubert was doing the Sergeant Rock one.
Right.
Dave Gibbons and Eduardo Rizzo were doing... Oh, man, what were they doing?
I forget, but it's like an all-star lineup.
Yeah, it is really impressive.
If you're kind of love the DC lore or that beautiful artwork, or just want to read some fun stories, it's an easy.
Oh right, I remember the Demon and Catwoman.
Oh right,
by Walt Simonson and art by Brian Stelfreeze.
Yeah, man. There's some, and Stelfreeze doesn't do a ton of interiors
Dave
these
Bullock
days.
did a Dead Man story.
Yep.
Right.
Man, some awesome work.
Ed Brubaker is going back to his book Criminal, which is sort of a shared universe of crime characters.
Yep.
He is doing a show on Amazon Prime, and I guess it spurred him to go and tell the story of the sort of like what happened to all these characters as they've aged. And so he has Knives, a criminal book, which is the biggest hardcover they've had, the original hardcover, and it's got like 4 stories in it that all interweave between the character from My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies. Who was part of the Undertow, the criminal bar. Yep. Another member of the Lawless family, the sort of like criminal, the soldier / leg breakers for the Hyde crime family.
Yep.
And then Jacob Kurtzman, the cartoonist, who is definitely based on Ed Brubaker.
Right.
Who also gets attached to a TV show and goes out to Hollywood and has some sort of crime stuff related to that.
Yep.
A really good interweaving. It's another great criminal
Nobody
book.
writes crime. I think he's probably the best crime writer that comics have ever had.
Well, I
can't think of anybody I like better.
In the back of this, they've got an ad for all the stuff that he and Sean Phillips have collaborated on.
Yeah.
And I was looking, and I don't know there's any creative team where there's been 0 misses like these guys.
Right.
Like, I own everything they've done. I don't think there's a lot of people I can say that with, but everything they've done is worth having.
Is this like a finale to the criminal universe?
No, it's just not even
kind
a
of
capper.
bringing
It's just
together
like
some of the worlds and like you said, Randy, showing where these characters are. Because the series jumps around in time. They could be set in the 50s, the 1970s, the 1990s, whenever, or the present.
Yeah.
And I think you're seeing where some of those characters, what happened as they aged up a bit. So it's kind of a cool check-in. It sounds like with a story that kind of links several of them together.
It's a great story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really good. That's probably my pick this week. The New Gods gets its first trade, Volume 1 of the...
Rom V. Who has put more thought into this than I think any writer on the New Gods in possibly decades.
I am not a New Gods fan. I like them in theory, but I really haven't found them interesting.
Yep.
This is really interesting.
Yeah.
Yep. It has both like sort of big sort of cosmic existential craziness going on, and then smaller character stories with like Barda and Scott Free and some of the other characters. From there were multiple different artists in it to illustrate multiple different locations and eras, and they've all been like really well chosen and like top-notch artists. So if you generally kind of like the New Gods or like the New Gods but haven't seen anything good from them in a while, you should get it.
Yeah. The Question, all along the Watchtower. This is the murder mystery featuring the Question, who's now the sheriff of the Justice League.
Yeah, the Watchtower became a key location, just like it was on the Justice League Unlimited cartoon back in the early 2000s. And Question runs security ops for them, and this is her first big mystery.
Sandman Mystery Compendium 2. Big giant chunk of Matt Wagner and Steve Siegel's 1930s Sandman adventure from early Vertigo days. Right.
It came out in the 1990s, but of course was set in the 1930s. It even had some tie-ins to the Neil Gaiman Sandman because when he dreamt, he kind of brushed up against the dream world, and he had these precognitive visions and stuff like that. But it was fascinating because it was like an R-rated take on a Silver Age character who kind of would mingle, like was a Justice Society member and, had big superhero adventures. But in this, it was all kind of cool pulp stuff with like honestly pretty rough violence and things like that, and a darker look at the 20s and 30s, but like really so smart and also very humane at times. But like it was recognizing the rise to fascism. It saw like political corruption. It was so much smarter than a crime superhero pulp comic needed to be.
Yeah.
And it was early art from who was the
Guy Davis.
Guy Davis.
Yep.
who would go on to become like one of the Guillermo del Toro's personal storyboard artist and like collaborator. So he does like all of the stuff with Guillermo del Toro now.
The stories in this one are the original one is Oldest Adversaries. I don't remember which adversary it was, but another one of these weird sort of Dick Tracy-esque villains.
Yep.
A series of brutal murders during the New York World's Fair.
Yep.
And then he encounters a brash young pilot called Blackhawk, who is over in World War II. Basically, he has money, and he's basically funding the Blackhawks during the war. That's
awesome.
Which would tie in later to when he becomes the hero and works alongside them.
Yep.
But it was fun to see that all in sort of a pulpy, not superhero-y vibe.
They also did a thing where the girlfriend in it for him, Diane Belmont. She started out as kind of like in that girlfriend role. She was a society girl who was trying to find a role, but she
from the outset
elevated.
She is basically the lead of the story. She's a feminist in 1930s,
Right. And was like becomes like his kind of co-adventurer.
Yeah.
Not like she's out there in the field, but she's collaborating.
She's always bouncing stuff off. She's the brains.
Right.
And her dad is the police commissioner.
Yeah. It's cool because it kind of took what I would say are some old school concepts.
Yeah.
Dad is police commissioner and all that stuff is very
and she was
old school.
Damsel in distress kind of thing.
And it took everything and pushed it forward into this kind of interesting, thoughtful, sometimes violent 90s realm.
Yeah. They also have a lot of sex.
It's true. There's sex and violence and nudity. It earns its R rating.
It does.
But I think you and I were both very taken with this it was a favorite in the 90s.
I love this. I think I've bought it twice at least.
Easily recommend the new volumes to people.
And then finally, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, its prequel series.
The animated series. Yeah.
We all love the animated series.
Yeah, it's great.
And this
the
is
comics
sort of
were a good
the comics are also a really good companion.
Yeah.
And features the, what are they called? The Enforcers.
Oh, yeah. The only thing it lacks is the super catchy theme song.
I was going to say that.
But you can play in the background.
You can play it in the background.
All right. That is actually it for us this week. We don't have a lot of topics to talk about. No real news. So it's going to be a quicker podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with more. Until that time,
Yo, Joe.
Roguecast is a weekly podcast broadcast from Rogues Gallery Comics and Games in Round Rock, Texas. You can find us online on Facebook and at www.roguesgallerytx.com and email us comments or questions at roguesgallerytx@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.